Did you know it's possible that increased warming and decreased sea ice cover in the Arctic could be responsible for the Arctic outbreaks and major snowstorms we've seen over the past few years? Since 1980, Arctic sea ice levels have been decreasing, reaching a record minimum in 2007 and again in 2012. Over the last 30 years, the Arctic has warmed at least twice as rapidly as most lower latitude locations. Researchers are now discovering the atmospheric circulation for an Earth with a robust and consistent Arctic sea ice cover is noticeably different than that of an Earth with much less ice cover, similar to what we are seeing today. 20th century records of the Atlantic Ocean indicate that periods of warming in the North Atlantic are tied to stronger northward movement of heat into the area through the Gulf Stream, with the past few decades indicating the strongest warming at any time in the past 2,000 years. Similar trends have been observed in the Pacific. One consequence of this warming is reduced north-south temperature gradients that weaken the circumpolar winds that act to isolate the Arctic from the rest of the northern hemisphere. Also, overall warming of the atmosphere means that winds traveling north are warmer and wetter than they have been and push the Arctic Oscillation and North Atlantic Oscillation into more negative states. This has allowed for weaker westerlies and a more meandering north-south flow, allowing warm air to travel farther north and Arctic air to plunge south. This more wavy flow also allows storm systems to stay over regions for longer periods of time. While mounting evidence for this theory continues to pile up, the jury is still out as to whether there is a true connection between Arctic warming and mid-latitude weather. For Up in the Air, I'm Andrea Paparelli.